Good morning, children. I welcome you all to the chemistry class. Today we are continuing with the chapter Periodic Table. In the last class we were discussing about the group 1, group 2 elements and also from group 13 to group 18 and how we are going to find the group and the period to which it belongs. Now, today I am going to introduce before you a new topic, that is representative elements. Representative elements. So before going into that topic, you know about how the group 1 elements are. See, I am writing the group 1 elements. Okay, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. And group 2, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, etc. So, these are the group 1 and group 2 elements. Now, from group 13 to group 15. Okay, group 13 to group 15. These are all elements which we have discussed in the earlier class. So here you can see boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, etc. Isn't it? So when we look at these elements, there is group 1, group 2 and from elements, all the elements including group 13 to group 15. So when we look across these elements in your periodic table, you can find solids, liquids, gases and metalloids. So, what all you can find? You can find metals here, metals, that is which are solids, liquids are there, gases are there and metalloids are also there. So, what are the solids here? Solids, sodium, then magnesium, aluminium. These are all solids, right? Then, what about liquids? Liquids. You know mercury is a liquid metal. Okay, mercury is a liquid metal. In the same way, you can find a non-metal which is liquid. Bromine is a liquid non-metal. Now gases, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, these are all gases. Now what about metalloids? What are metalloids? Those elements which show the characteristics of both metals as well as non-metals. They are known as metalloids. Okay, so you can find silicon, then germanium, etc. So if you can look across these elements, you can clearly understand that these elements include in the group 1, group 2 or group 13 to 18. So they are representing almost all the elements, that is all elements in all the states, that is solid state, liquid state, gaseous state as well as the metalloids. So we can commonly call these elements, that is group 1, group 2 and from group 13 to 18. These elements we can call them as representative elements. So representative elements are those elements which include in group 1 and group 2 and also from group 13 to group 18. These elements are known as representative elements. Now, here I have written some elements: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. So if you are familiar with the periodic table, you can easily identify that these elements are noble gases. They are noble gases. They include in the group 18 of the periodic table. Group 18 of the periodic table. Now, except helium, if you are checking at the number of electrons in the valence shell. What is valence shell? Outermost shell. So here you can see that it is 8, argon, is krypton, xenon and radon. Now when you are checking the outermost electrons, the valence shell electrons in each element, you can find that the number of electrons in the outermost shell is complete. They have already attained the octet state. They have already attained the stable state. So those elements which have already acquired the stable state or the octet state do not take part in chemical reaction. That is why they are known as inert gases, because they are chemically inert. Okay, so those elements which are having the number of electrons 8 in the valence shell, they do not take part in chemical reaction because they are chemically inert. They do not take part in chemical reaction. So another name for noble gases is inert gases. Now this is group 18 of the periodic table. Now when we look at the bottom part of the periodic table, not bottom part, the part in between group 1 and group 2. Group 1, here you can see group 1. Okay, then you can see group 2. Okay, here you can see group 13 to 18. Group 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Here you can see group 1 and group 2. Now in between them, you can see a number of some elements which are arranged in between them. That is from 3 to 12. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Okay, so 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the elements between group 1, group 2 and this 13 to 18. That is the elements of group 3 to 12. Okay, 3 to 12, this element. They are known as transition elements. Transition elements. So these names you have to study. Okay. The transition elements are included in between group 3 and group 12. The elements included in group 3 to group 12 are known as transition elements. These transition elements, they have a peculiarity. That is, they have some characteristics. They have having different oxidation state. Different oxidation state. Okay. A general property of these elements are they are showing different oxidation state. They show colored compounds. They show colored compounds. Then they can act as catalyst. You have studied about catalyst. They can act as catalyst. A lot more properties are there, but you can study only one or two. That is, they are showing different oxidation state, they show colored compounds and they act as catalyst. Okay. Now, next is, when you go through the periodic table, you can see two rows of elements which are kept at the bottom of the periodic table. Okay, they are kept at the bottom of the periodic table, just separated. Okay, and now those elements which are seen here, they are known as lanthanides and actinides. Okay, lanthanides and actinides. They are kept separate, just cut off from the periodic table, and they are kept here. Okay, so they are known as lanthanides and actinides. Okay, here the elements from atomic number 58 to 72. Okay, the elements from 58 to 72, they are known as lanthanides. Okay, they are known as lanthanides. The elements starting, the atomic number of the elements starting from 58 to 72, they are known as lanthanides. Now, another group of element is there. That is from 89 to 103. 89 to 103, they are known as actinides. Okay, they are known as actinides. So lanthanides and actinides are those group of elements which are kept separately at the bottom of the periodic table. Atomic number 58 to 72, they are known as lanthanides, and they are known by another name also, rare earth metals. Okay, rare earth metals. Whereas in actinides, after uranium, okay, after uranium, all the elements, okay, after uranium, all the elements are artificial. They are artificially made. Okay, artificially made. Okay, so lanthanides are known as rare earth metals starting from atomic number 58 to 72. In actinides, the atomic number starts from 89 to 103. And in that row, after uranium, all the elements are artificially made. Okay, so this much gives you a picture, a short picture of the periodic table. We studied about group 1 elements which are alkali metals, group 2 elements which are alkaline earth metals. Then we studied about group 13 to group 18, that is boron family, carbon family, nitrogen family, oxygen family, halogens and noble gases. Noble gases are the group 18 elements of the periodic table. Since the number of electrons in the outermost shell are 8, they do not take part in chemical reaction. They are also known as inert gases. Then we studied about the elements between these two, that is from group 3 to group 12. They are known as transition elements. They show some different characteristics, that is different oxidation state. They are acting as catalysts. They are colored compounds. Then what about lanthanides and actinides, which we have studied now? That is from elements group that is 58 to 72 are known as lanthanides, and from 89 to 103 they are known as actinides. Lanthanides are rare earth metals, and in actinides, that is after uranium, they are artificially made. So this is